Welcome back, BCT students. Today's video is going to be on sheetrock patching, and I'm going to show you the tools we're using today and materials. So we're going to use a 1.25" drywall screws because we're using 1/2" sheetrock, a screw gun, utility knife, pencils, tape measure, sheetrock saw, T-square, and of course sheetrock. So this is all stuff you have to do in Nocti sheetrocking, so I just want to show you exactly how to do it in the field. So you can see up here we got all our electric in, as I showed you guys before. And so what you got to do, you got to take your measurements. It might be a little bit different measurement, like so let's say it's 12 1/4. And up here it's like 12 3/8. So you want to take your smallest measurement, so you have to recut it, and the spackle will fill in the difference. And then over here we got 31 1/4, and over here 31 1/4. So we're good that way. And take your measurement to center your box lengthwise and then widthwise, and then you know how to cut your circle. So this is a 4-inch box. So I already mapped that out. I always take a piece of scrap up with me, so I go up and down the ladder, and I map out what I need to cut. So you can see how I marked it all. And then we can do the appropriate cuts. So this is where we have the big sheetrock, and we're gonna cut it to the size that we need. So remember upstairs we said it was 12 3/4. So we'll come over here, cut it. We're cutting it a little bit big because we've got other patching to do. We want to waste material. So I measured 14 inches, and then we'll just cut it again upstairs. So here's our mark. You take your T-square, put it to your pencil line. The T-square is already set up for a 90-degree angle. Put your foot at the bottom, be on your pencil mark. Have a decent blade with you. And just score it down and make sure the foot holds it so it doesn't move. So you only have to mark the top, not the bottom. Once you score it, then you take the sheetrock out and you bang it from the other side. It'll give you a crease. So bang it a little bit. You can see it already creases for you. You take your knife and cut the back side of the sheetrock. All you gotta do is follow the seam that you just made. And there's your piece that you need. And we'll cut it off for length upstairs. So we got the piece of sheetrock cut, and we're ready to install. So I'm just going to show you how to put it up. As you can see, we got our 2 nail plates for protecting the wires. One up there where the wire went through the rafter, so that way you don't hit it with your screw. So you might have to try fit it a couple times. So I already did that once, and I had to recut it. So. I screwed in the middle just so it'll hold the sheet for me, and you know where your wood is. You want to get the right depth, just below the surface of the paper. If you go too deep and it's not strong enough, it'll rip the paper and it won't hold. If it's too far out, you can't spackle over it. Just like that. If you're doing the whole room, they have a tip that's already made that gives you the proper depth, but we're only doing little pieces here. So there's a nail plate, I can tell. Luckily I had a nail plate there. spackle. While we're doing the patching for all the electrical wires we ran, I know we're going to put a railing right here. Before there was no solid blocking here to attach the railing. So it's much better, so I figured while we're doing all the patching, we'll just put this blocking in here. So you can see I already have some up there. This is all 2x4s. And you go from stud to stud, screwed with plywood on top. We're gonna have the same thing down here. We're gonna have a piece of plywood on top of here, so that when we put the railing, you can screw right into something solid. Okay, we got all the blocking done here for the railing. Just want to show you before I close it up. Got 2x4s, 2.5-inch screws screwed into the plate, and screwed up here into this plywood, which is screwed between for the blocking across here. And we're just gonna put this. You see how it's recessed a little bit? That's so the plywood can go in and sit flush. Alright, we're ready to start spackling. All the sheetrock has been patched, so just want to go over a couple different scenarios for you. The first is the easiest, where you have a factory edge to a factory edge. It's indented a little bit to allow for the tape and joint compound to be even with the board. So that's your first scenario. You put your joint compound down here, and you put your tape right across the seam, and it'll be nice and flush. The second scenario is a little bit more difficult, and you have to feather it out. It's called where two non-factory edges come together. That's called a butt joint, and you have to feather it out a lot farther to make it look good. Here's the two different types of tape you can use. Most professionals use paper tape. A lot of people use this mesh tape too. It's sticky on one side. It'll stick like this. The advantage to this is the tape will never bubble. So if you don't put enough joint compound underneath here before you tape, and then you smooth it out and you play with the tape too much, it has a tendency to, it'll bubble, air bubble will form, and you have to repair it. Then there's different knives that we're going to use. So it requires 3 coats of spackle to be finished product. The first coat, you use your taping knife just for the tape, and that's 4 inches. Second coat, you can go with either a 6-inch knife, which spreads it out farther, or 8-inch knife. Then a lot of times with the butt joints, you have to go with this 10 or 12-inch knife to really spread it out and make it look good. So you can see inside the bucket here, here's your pre-made joint compound. You have to really mix that up with a drill bit, or you just whip it up by yourself by hand. So I'm just going to demonstrate how to do your first layer of tape. So here's you would just take your, it's already been whipped up, so you whip it up, and it's a lot smoother. So just put it on here like this, smooth it out. Put your tape across here, hold it one side, and then put a thin layer across the top. You want to angle the knife so you pick up this edge. You don't want a ridge over there. That's how it should look for the first coat. Or here's a butt joint, and I'll demonstrate with the fiberglass mesh tape. So you gotta have a utility knife, cut it, it's got sticky on one side, hold it like that. Don't keep playing with it, just leave it leave it be, or else it just makes problems worse. So I'm gonna go over here and show you what we're gonna do. Just a small little patch. You have to run for the electric, so I'll just show you how to do that. So you load up your knife. You see where your seam is across here. You want to see any of the sheetrock? Put generous amount there. Hold your tape a little bit past the joint. Go straight across. Lightly stick it in place. Then use your knife to cut a nice straight line. You can just hold it with one hand. Smooth it out. And do one little quick coat across the top. That's how it should look. So up to the point where we're going to do an inside corner. I just want to show you guys how to do that. You gotta take your knife, I load it up halfway with spackle on the one side. I'm going to start down here. So I have a nice even coat. Do the same thing on the other side. Start up here. And take your paper, get your length, and just rip it with your hand. And the paper tape has an automatic creasing, venting for you. And you just crease it like this. And it gives you a nice corner. And you just stick it in the corner. By hand, make sure it's right in the corner. We're a little bit long, so cut a little bit off. Then you take your knife, there you go, we're gonna try. So we have 3 coats of spackle on our patch and it's almost ready to paint. But the last thing you have to do is sand it. You gotta sand it and make it nice and smooth so you don't see any of these ridges. And make sure the edges will feather in to the existing wall. But before you sand, the most important thing to do is you gotta wear a dust mask because it's really fine sand and you don't wanna breathe it. It's dangerous to breathe this stuff. So always wear a mask when you sand spackle. If we were sanding the whole room here, we would tape it off because this stuff goes everywhere. So let me just demonstrate how to sand. I'm gonna put the mask on. I just want to say a lot. Also, you want to go like in a circular motion. That helps feather it in. You can feel with your hand and see if any of rough spots. You might have to touch up again, but usually not. now we have a finished product. Nice and smooth, no ridges, and ready to be primed and then painted. So like usual, I got 5 questions for you guys. They can answer and get back to me. First question, name 3 tools used in repairing sheetrock. Question number 2, name the 2 most common joints when you're repairing sheetrock, when the 2 pieces come together. Question number 3, name 2 different types of tapes that can be used when you're taping a sheetrock seam. Question number 4, when taping an inside corner joint, what should you do to the tape before you place it on the wall? And question number 5, before sanding spackle, you should always wear what to protect yourself?